This is it. Tea Party of one, all governments divided. The reason why I say all governments divided is because I took on the provincial, federal, and municipal governments on taxes. And there was a party, and they came, but they really didn't want to come. Basically what happened is I told the provincial government at start that I was not going to collect their taxes anymore. That whenever a client came in the shop and he said, how much is the rat? And I said $100, I made a sale for myself. When the customer or myself started mentioning taxes, I have to take off my Radman hat, and now I'm putting on my government hat, and now from that moment on, my time becomes government time. I am making a sale for the government. Who's paying me for my time? When I figured it out, it was $1.50 an hour. In the book, I have the letters, all the documentation that I refer to are in the book. Even from Hansard, when Bob Runciman put the question to the Minister of Finance in Toronto. But basically what I said is, I'm being paid $1.50 an hour to collect your money. How can the government pass a law forcing businesses or business owners to collect money for the government when the minimum wage is $7 or $10 an hour? And if I hire someone under the minimum wage, I'm liable to go to jail. But the government passes a law saying that businesses have to do it for free, like GST or HST right now. Said that is unconstitutional. Long story short, the province never did anything. Bob Runciman put it to them in the legislature, and they said, oh yeah, progressive legal action will be taken against this man. They never did anything legal other than put liens on my assets, which I broke. And the whole story is in the book. The GST, I was taking the court on the GST, and the big thing that they knew is they took me to court on paperwork. I never registered for the GST, but the government registered me against my will. Signed the contract for me. And they had threatened that if I didn't sign, I was going to be taken to court. So I said, well, I'm not signing. When I got my GST number in the mail, I called up the then mayor. He wasn't the mayor of Rockland at the time, Richard Lalonde. He became mayor of Rockland afterwards. But he was in charge of registration for GST in the Ottawa area. And I said, what'd you do? Well, he says, we were able to assess that you made more than $30,000 a year, therefore we have the power to register you against your will. But now you're going to have to file the paperwork because we'll take you to court. I said, that's what I want. But the problem was that they had gone around and now they were going to deal with me on paperwork. But I knew on the phone then that I was going to beat them on the paperwork. But I was going to have the tough time of having to go to court and endure a long court session. Long story short again, I won that. I basically won it because they cannot force me to collect taxes. Now, when I sell my book, on every one of my invoices, on the bottom, I have a disclaimer. On that bottom, and the disclaimer reads like this. This firm does not collect taxes. If you, meaning the customer, if you feel this tax should be paid, you may send it in yourself. That is what they didn't want to try in court. It has not been proven wrong, it has not been proven right, but the common sense belief is if you notify your customers that you don't do a certain thing, like collect taxes, you're legal. You put a sign at the entrance of your shop, or you put a sign on all your invoices, notifying your customers you don't collect taxes, you're legal. And that's what the government didn't want to test in court. The lady that came to investigate me with the province followed the court case with the federal government, and at a break she came out to see me and she said, you know, if you win, you affect all government collection of taxes. I said, I know. She says, I'm not just talking GST and PST. I said, I know. She says, you're going to affect payroll deductions, CPP, income tax collection, union dues. Imagine if every union had to deal with each individual member that they have instead of going through the businesses. You take businesses out of the equation, they collect between 80 to 90% of all government money. If the government had to deal with each individual in this country for every penny they want, how long would it be before people had to change an attitude? And that's why they don't want this issue in court. And it's been 23 years since I burnt my vendor's permit in their office. Now, how much time I got left?
5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay. I don't have a cell phone. I forgot it. I got to tell you a story right now. I went to a court in Quebec, and the judge, you know, they say, shut off your cell phones. And as the procedures are going on, a cell phone goes off. It's the judge's cell phone. So he takes it out and shuts it off. 2 minutes later, it rings again. Oh, this time he takes it up, and that was it. But it happens to everyone, even the judges. That was the funniest thing. I'm off on a tour to BC. I'm leaving Sunday, and I have New Westminster, Victoria, Penticton, Kelowna, and Calgary, Edmonton, and Grand Prairie. So that is all these people are interested on hearing my story. Now there is one thing that has proven the disclaimer to be correct, is I had to test it out. So I asked, one fellow came to my shop and he said, Jean Serge, I want to help you. Anything I can do for you. He said, I'd be glad to do it. And I said, sure. I said, I just need someone to take their invoice and go pay up to the government. He says, I'll do it. The bill was $150. He went to the Revenue Canada office. In those days, you could still go there. You can't anymore. He walked in and he says, I'm here to pay the GST on this invoice. And they took his money, proving I was right. The jurisprudence is done. They will accept the money. That gentleman that did that is George Wright, right there. He's also running in Osgood Ward. So they, you know, like little things that, I mean, and I wish the landowners had been around when I started this, because this would not end up the way it is now. We would have been in court a lot sooner. But you're lucky to have the landowners now. Like I said, I wish I would have had them 21 years ago. But they have been instrumental. I mean, I've been in politics since 1980 as an activist. And I've seen organizations come and go. And the landowners are the #1 association to be with if you're going to be an activist. So on that, I hope you buy the book, because when 1,000 of them are sold and 1,000 invoices are sent to the Minister of Revenue of Canada, and they get $1, 1,000 checks of $1, they will realize that they're in trouble. Thank you very much.